what's in game for this Zion Williamson thing, man? I mean,
obesity? What are you talking about?
What?
I feel bad. Bro.
What are we doing?
No joke.
I do too.
Like,
so he came into camp over 300 pounds, right?
I guess at some point you got to point the finger at him. Dude,
allegedly.
it's crazy. I don't mean to.
Allegedly. I'm allegedly over 215. You don't know that. Allegedly.
Yeah.
He's 315.
I live in Louisiana. I've heard rumors.
Yeah.
Though.
There's no way he's not 315. And everybody had that worry for a guy that explosive carrying that much weight. Obviously, that's the part that's sad to me. Is as a 20-year-old, he had arguably the best paint scoring season in NBA history. Like right up there with Prime Shaq and Giannis as a 20-year-old who can only go left. But he's 285 and girthy, and he explodes up, and and you just like kind of can't get through his shoulder to contest, and he's
Zach Randolph on an earth hoop.
Yeah, he's Zach Randolph with John Morant bunnies, bro. Like that's what he is.
Yeah. So the things that I've heard, and this is me living in Baton Rouge. You don't know if anything's real. Yeah, you don't know what you're hearing is true. So I live in Baton Rouge, and this dude that I work with, his sister lives in New Orleans and works at a like top tier seafood restaurant. No. And she said Zion would go in there, bro.
No.
Zion would go in there and order enough food for 4 or 5 people, and that's common with pro athletes. But she said the difference was from the Saints or people like Cam Jordan or something. She said she sees Saints players all the time, literally weekly. She said Zion would buy the whole fried side of the menu instead of the fresh side. So he's in there eating gumbo, fried crab legs, fried shrimp,
hush puppies, French fries.
She said, extra bread, like, she said she didn't know who he was. She thought he was a defensive tackle. She thought he was a defensive lineman that played with the Saints. Asked their damn manager who he was. He's like, that's Zion Williamson. And she's like, doesn't he play basketball? And he's like, yeah. But the one thing I will say is Zion should have 0 complaints about what David Griffin has done, even though he's a rat son of a bitch with the Kyle Lowry situation. He has made a team over there. He is drafted well with Jose Alvarado, the kid from Alabama, and
Herb Jones. Herb Jones has been balling.
Herb Jones, that's his name. I forgot his name. I kept calling him Hubert for some. Jesus Christ. I was calling him Hubert on my podcast. So Herb Jones, those guys, and C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram. Yep. He had Josh Hart. All he wanted was to get a point guard for him, and now he has 2 guys, Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum, that can average 20 as the second and third option. With you averaging 27, you cannot complain that he hasn't set you up for success and made a shitty team a very good team, or a good team now without. They're a good team without Zion. I've seen them play. We played them before the All-Star break, and they were good.
Bro,
they were good.
They gave the Mavs everything they wanted. With C.J. McCollum dropped 30 the day before that they played the Mavs, or the game before they played the Mavs. He dropped 30 without even hitting a single 3 in that game.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So he can't complain about what the organization's done for him. They seem to be catering towards him, and David Griffin is the dude. Bro, you're not LeBron. Mm-hmm. Listen, I run this shit. You don't run it. And if you're not going to be involved in this and once again, JJ Redick is, to me, probably the most reliable source in the media. He never lies. He just said he's a straight shooter. He'll tell you how it is.
Straight shooter.
And like I said on Twitter, the thing that was removed from this whole conversation, the whole quotes and all that, was that he said he told Zion to his face in the locker room what he said on national television. So he had a discussion, and now Zion every other day is posting Instagram clips of his teammates. Hilarious. Quit playing, Zion. Yep. You don't want to be there. You wish you were a Knick. You wish you were a Knick, and it's okay. But don't do that to that organization.
That small market, man. That was a concern going in. I remember that being a headline and a topic of discussion prior to that draft. Will a player as highly coveted and touted as Zion, is a market like New Orleans going to be fitting? So that's separate discussion to have. I also wanted to add this real quick. And again, I'll relate this to just my own personal experience because that's just kind of the way my brain works. So he's 21 years old, right? If my career
That's crazy. What the hell?
if my career was defined by my off the court or off the field habits
Sure.
at age 21, I'd be a complete and utter disaster. Now, I will say though, the caveat to that is I was never a Zion Williamson. I was never anywhere close, right? I'm a bum compared to him. So I don't have all the things at my, available to me that he does, being as highly touted as he is. There's no excuse for learning how to take care of yourself and taking care of your body. I
I was
understand.
about to say, Landon, listen, I don't mean to interrupt. You have been eating salad and chicken breast since you were 18 years old, so his eating habits are on him. I'm sorry.
So I will say that is true, but only since I was about 25, really, is when I started trying to actually hone in on that component of, but that's what I'm saying is the maturity level as an athlete takes time. So 21 years old, Zion Williamson, he's still like, I can't write him off yet, but I just wanted to say, like, we've never seen a player like this.
Yeah, no.
Almost like ruin himself, or like at least to the detriment of his career, putting his career in jeopardy by having a weight problem this quickly in his career. Like I've never seen that
The only
before.
thing I've seen, not weight problem, Ben McLemore there, you have to read up on it. Ben McLemore from Kansas looked like he was going to be one of the best scorers we would see, and then eventually got into the draft, and apparently his rookie year, they said he was one of the best, if not the best player on the team. Then got his contract, got involved with some bad money problems because he was giving all his homeboys money, buying everybody houses because he couldn't tell them no. And that's the only thing I can see towards self-sabotage that I can remember in recent memory like this, other than Greg Oden, also with alcoholism.
Well,
which is terrible.
That's the thing too. We touched on it earlier. Me and Sands, like you always hear how scared people are of big men with foot problems, right? And I think this time in particular, Zion was set to return, like probably prior to now, initially.
Yes,
and you
way early.
Come out from Shams and whomever. Zion had a setback, and the thing is, I was talking with Sands just a second ago, like, as a guy who is, you got to think, Zion's 6'7" max. He's 6'7" max. He's 285 and he plays like he's 7'1", 300, but he's 6'7" max. Like that's a lot of freaking weight, to be carrying on that body. And when you have foot problems, the only way to stay in shape as an athlete is the treadmill, sprints, cardio.
To be able to move.
Right, you're playing 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. There's a ramp-up period. And when you've got a hurt foot, you can't rehab, obviously. So you're sitting there, you're gaining additional weight. And by the time your foot is ready, so you think, there's additional weight and stress that gets added to that part of your body. And then it's kind of like a recurring thing.
Great point.
And
the guys with feet, it's so hard to get right. He obviously
interesting.
got introduced to some new food, right? Like, there's no...
talking about food, before you keep going, Chris, not to interrupt, the thing was, also what I was thinking was, the cardio in playing basketball covers your eating diets. It covers your eating setbacks that you're having when you're playing, when you're burning all those calories. It probably don't show that much when you're eating like that. So
when you're sedentary, the diet becomes infinitely more important.
Yeah.
And I just think, you combine that with how explosive his game is. He's not a jump shooter. He doesn't even shoot mid-range shots. We touched on it earlier. He explodes 40 inches in the air, and you can't get through his shoulders, and he shoots a left-handed layup. And it's coming in every time. But to be that big, having foot issues, it's I don't know. I don't, like you said, he's 21. We don't have access to the x-rays. We don't know what his work habits are like behind the scenes. I haven't heard anyone say he's not a hard worker, personally. I've never.
Nope.
He might have.
Nope.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either.
Have an eating problem.
The only thing,
perhaps, but I've never heard.
The only thing I've heard is that.
Yeah. Go.
Did the Pelicans say they were going to have to reteach him how to run? Like, was that something that was discussed before drafting him too? Did I hear that correctly or no?
That was an actual thing that came out. I think they wanted him to work on the way that he landed. They wanted to work on the way that he landed also when he jumps. I mean, they were trying to do, because I think that their doctors, I have to imagine their sports science group got together and was like, that's a lot of weight to be coming from 43 inches in the air repeatedly every single night. I don't want to switch topics, but the Sands knows this. Joel Embiid, he doesn't really dunk all that much anymore.
Never. He'll lay it up.
I hear today on TV say that Joel Embiid's not explosive. And I'm like, you are wrong. Yeah, if you saw Jared Allen dunk the other day, he's explosive. All of his injuries came from him leaving his feet to his high ability. And you're 7'2", you're coming down on feet, rolling ankles.
In traffic, like down low, in traffic with all these bodies.
He missed 2 years from a foot issue before he ever played a single second in the NBA. I think for him, a lot of that was, okay, I've got to retool the way that I play. It drives me crazy times now. He'll have a wide open lane, and he'll kind of go up weak, or he'll lean into somebody and try to draw a foul, or he'll shoot a layup with his hand almost above the rim. Mm-hmm. But because he doesn't want to leave his feet and risk that violent landing, when you got 280 pounds hanging on a rim with body weight carrying you to the right, do you let go? Do you hold on? Do your hands slip? There's just a lot more room for error there. So I think it's interesting because Zion's not 7'2". If he takes 20 inches off of his vertical, that's a different player than, you know what I mean, than 7'2" is.
For sure.
I think it's interesting, man. I don't really know what the solution is out there. I do think he wants out. I really do. I don't know anything about the guy. Obviously, I've never met him. I don't know anyone related to him, close to him. He doesn't strike. He seems like a really good kid from everything we read.
Mm-hmm. I've always thought that too. Yeah.
Dude. Like you get in front of a camera, he's smiley. He's genuinely just happy to be where he's at. But I would never mistake him for a leader, for sure. And he's 21. Like, who is? You see LeBron James leading a bunch of bums to the finals.
That maturity.
Not everybody's like that. It's hard to lead, man. It's hard to lead.
Yeah. The maturity comes with time, and I think that's a great point. Obviously, you are a Sixers fan, right? So it resonates deeper with you than most. But with the Joel Embiid thing, right? The self-audit, to be able to – remember, because there was bus talk written all over him.
All the time.
Like this dude can't stay healthy. We're writing him off, right? That was a thing for a while.
Long time.
And to see him now at the MVP caliber level that he's at today, maybe the best player on the planet right now. It's for debate, but we can have that discussion too.
Number 2.
That's the stuff I love is athletes being willing to mold their game, just like saying, okay, I'm jumping too much amidst people that are weaker than me, so they're having to foul me harder.
Yep.
I got 280 pounds landing on one foot oftentimes when I'm getting bumped and fouled and, whatever. Okay, so he figured that out. And what did that do? Not only did it keep him healthy, staying grounded and maybe sacrificing a little bit of that athleticism, right? It's allowed him to evolve his game. So he's much more crafty now, and now we're seeing his skill set completely unlocked. So it's like,
oh god,
trial by error, but it's poetry, man.
Like